Hey, sorry I'm not there today. I wanted to give you a quick rundown about what happens between Excerpt 1 and Excerpt 2. So here's kind of what's important to understand from Excerpt 1 time frame, is that Clarice asked these questions that have really stuck with Montag, and he's continued to think about them, and they're almost like bothersome a little bit. They're creeping under his skin. So questions like, have you ever read a book that before you've burned it? Why don't you have children? Are you happy? And those questions sit with him and kind of make him uneasy. So when she goes missing, that uneasiness and dissatisfaction begins to just grow even more because he can't get her questions out of his head. So what happens between Excerpt 1 and 2 is this dissatisfaction continues to build and becomes noticeable to some of the other characters. And they start asking him, like, Montag, what's wrong with you? It makes Montag even a little bit more nervous. So he has actually stashed some books away into his little air vent that would be like an intake vent in his house. Not intending necessarily to read them, but just to save them or just to have them. And so that's something that has happened, as well as they get called to this woman's house. And as soon as they get called there, Beatty sort of slaps this woman around and demands that she show them her stash of books. And that's a little bit unsettling to Montag. Montag heads up into her attic and starts torching her entire attic that's full of books. And when he does that, he knocks this book down, and this line from a book, he reads it, and he's compelled to pick it up and put it into his jacket and save it, which is obviously a big no-no. The kicker with this woman, and the reason this woman is so compelling for the story, is because she chooses to set herself and her home on fire out of protest for them trying to take her books and her knowledge and her intelligence. And so she torches everything. And so these firemen watch her burn herself alive, which is really disturbing to Montag, especially because he has just started to question sort of the value of humanity and the value of knowledge and intellect. And he watches this woman die for it. And it's really stirring up some things that he's struggling to deal with. And that's kind of where Excerpt 2 starts to take place. So Montag is going to he's begging his wife the next morning to call in sick for him because he's just struggling psychologically, physically, emotionally, dealing with what he saw the night before. And then Beatty shows up. So here's the kicker, and here's what I want you to understand. Beatty's speech is really, really meaty, meaning there's a lot of things happening inside of it, and you're not going to get through all of it today, and that's okay. It's really, really okay. I care that what you read deeply. So again, you don't have to get through the whole thing today, but I do care that what you read deeply.